Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond. I go live every Friday at 7 o'clock. It is actually 7:30 now. I'm late. Sorry. I was having a business call and it just went over because we had so much to discuss. How is everybody? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Do 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 do. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. We have some wonderful news. We got a lot of stuff going on in the country. Hey, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I love this dress. It's always fun. It's pink and green, my secret dream to have been an AKA, but they wouldn't accept me in their organization. Now I wouldn't get in it if I did. But I used to dream to be an AKA, so sometimes I do my pink and green moments. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. How is everybody doing? This has been this has been a busy week. Busy, busy, busy week. Busy month. March has been a busy month regardless. Hey lady. Hello. We're gonna talk about jokingly, and not anything serious, interracial dating. A busy wild week, yes. Interracial dating. Because, I see that there's a conversation happening around is it Katanji Jackson Brown? Is that how you say it? Katanji Brown Jackson? I don't know. I can't remember her last name. I can't remember her whole name. The new Supreme Court nominee. Katanji Brown Jackson. Hey, Stoner. And I see she got her a white husband. I'm like, maybe I need to get me a white Kang, honey, that can support me in battling against these systems. He can shield me from the things. If I get me old nasty white husband, baby. What y'all think about that? And I've been seeing, and the universe has been tempting me though, not with opportunities because they don't really try to holler at me, but tempting me in the idea because I be seeing all of my the people that I follow, like all my, I follow luxury influencers, certain ones, and fashion influencer who they show you luxury fashion stuff, and all of them got white husbands. God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something. Right now, right now, right now. They all got white husbands. Then you see the Supreme Court Justice nominee, white husband. Maybe they might be onto something. And hey, Coco, I'm like, maybe, I don't know. What's the downsides? What's the upsides? So the downsides, every time I try to give, every time I try to give them a chance, I always get bombarded with, I get bombarded with um, microaggressions, and that ain't me. I can't deal with racist microaggressions. I recommended it, Diamond. Do you got a white husband, Coco? You can't recommend something if you ain't got no white husband. Now, if you got a white husband and it's successful, then I it makes sense. If you don't got no white husband, what you recommending it for? That makes and a lot of times people who be recommending it, it's not because of the success. It's because, honey, y'all anti-black in y'all dating life, and that gets kind of weird. Now, if you got a white husband and you are a success, and you got he's by your side and supporting you, and you see the benefits, then I can understand because you were like, look, the proof is in the pudding. But if it's not working for you, if you're single and it's not turning into something fruitful, then is it another option? Is it a better option? Yeah, it ain't giving better option if it's not turning into something fruitful and successful. If you know, sometimes you recommend not doing what you already did. Well, she said it's her long time preference. So if this is her lifelong preference and it's still not working, if she has preferred the company of the pink toes and it's still not turning into nothing, I might stay with the brown toes, bruh. I might stay with bro over here with the brown toes if the return on investment is the same. At least they got the peas I like. At least they got the peas I like, honey. You look good. I got some fine ass dudes on my list, man. Sometimes I just be looking like, God, y'all niggas is fine. Single since my transition in COVID. That's not good to hear, honey. Soon as you start making life changes and tough times start to happen, you single. They abandoning you. What's happening? That don't sound good. Yeah, so I might as well stick to where I'm at. If they gonna be them, if that men gonna be men everywhere, I might as well. I learned that with trans men. You might as well stick over here with the cis because you gonna it's these some other problems you ain't got to deal with. I've been really getting into green tea lately, like the ceremonial grade green tea, and it's really hitting the spot. Does it have appetizing reducing properties? Because it's been kind of reducing my appetite. Green tea appetite suppressant. Oh, it is. I did not know that. But I've been drinking tea when I get up in the morning, some green tea in the morning. And it seems to be I don't really get hungry until like, 4 or 5. Oh, well, I take hormone blockers, so if it intensifies anything, my blockers should be, but I know it doesn't make me hungry. I know I didn't get hungry till like 4 o'clock yesterday, and I didn't eat all day because I was had such a busy week. How y'all like this colored? I usually have another color. How y'all like these light colors with the blue? Does that look? No. I like the I finally changed. I had my other lights changed, but I didn't change these lights. But I finally changed these to the controllable lights. So I'm gonna try different colors out. I've been drinking a lot of matcha green tea lately. Yeah, that's what I have. The ceremonial grade. What brand of green tea you drinking? Child, I don't even know. Ooh, I can't see it from where my kitchen is over here, but I can't see it over my shelf. So I don't know. Um, oh, let me go to my I don't know where I can go. Go to my Amazon, honey. See if go through my orders because it should be at the top of my list. Let me try. I don't even know. Okay, here we go. It is called UJIDO Japanese Matcha Green Tea Powder Ceremonial Blend. Ujido. UJIDO Japanese Matcha. I hope that helps. Yeah. I love the color you're wearing with your hair. It's cute together. Thank you. The green going blonde. I'm trying to grow my hair out on the top again. You know how I had my box. I don't want it to be a box though. I want it to be like a lifted low side fro, like, maybe a box. I don't know, but more like a point. I want it to be where it's coming up to from the front, it comes up to like a rounded point like this. And from the side, it just goes from short to longer in the front. A DC fade, is that what it's called? Where it's faded right here, but like not like a box, but like a. But I want it to be mohawky kind of. I don't know. Y'all see when I get it. Yeah, I want it to be. I want it to be blonde for a minute, and then I want it to grow out for like maybe like a month or two of dark. So all the outside will be like platinum, and the inside, where the roots are, is dark, but grown out in a shade. So hopefully it'll do what I want it to do. hopefully, because I want to be in Paris next month with a mini platinum froey mohawky thingy with black roots. Not like a mohawk, but in that same kind of. It's like a cross between a mohawk and a box. So, what have y'all been feeling about? Hey, Breen, is that Jada? Um, Paris is my dream trip. It's the Eiffel Tower for me. Yeah, I think we just got an Airbnb, and our Airbnb is going to be 2 blocks from the Eiffel Tower. Like when we look at our out our balcony, it's we can see the Eiffel Tower right outside the balcony. Hey, Marissa, how are you? Won't y'all tell me about this week of all these Republican questioning of Ketanji Brown Jackson for her nomination? Have y'all been watching it, or y'all been saying fuck it and not really watching it? When do you leave? I leave on April the 26th. So it should give me enough time to grow a month of growth. You know what, Coco? I'm going to definitely take some pictures, but I'm one of them people that I don't think about pictures in the moment because I'm one of them people that thinks about. I don't want to. One thing that I hate to see people doing, especially at like concerts. I get it, but I kind of don't like it. You're so busy looking at your like the Beyonce. You're so busy looking at your phone, trying to point it at Beyonce and zoom, zoom, zoom. You are not getting into Beyonce is in your face with a mic singing to you. Like this superstar is in your face singing to you, and you're not, and there's a moment that you're missing right here of connection because you are trying to get the moment on your phone. Is that weird to me? I think it's weird. Is that weird of me to think that? I don't know. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, sometimes my brain is like, oh, let me take a picture of this. But sometimes I'm enjoying the moment, the majestic nature of whatever's happening right now. And I think pulling out your phone, recording it ruins the moment. Is that weird? Or is that just me being old? I don't know. Sometimes it feels out of place. I get it. It makes sense when we're talking about some landmark. Like, okay, we're at Niagara Falls and you wanna capture Niagara Falls. I get it. These are beautiful nature things. But there's some things, especially when you're engaging with people in these kind of wonderful moments. Like when you're engaging with people, I hate people that are at dinner on their phone. I hate when we're having a moment of friends and we're on our phone. Yes, like when we're done eating and we're done kikiing. Yes, girl, let's remember this moment. Come on, stand right here. Da 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 da. But if you're just sitting there and you're trying to get some, I don't know. I just know it feels. I don't think like that. I think when I'm when it's a moment, I'm trying to enjoy the moment. So I don't always pull out my phone. I don't always pull out my phone when I'm thinking. So, but I have been trying to be more conscious of that so I can have pictures of moments because there is an element of, oh, I wish I had a camera at this moment. Yeah. They have nominated her 4 times before, and so they look like fools. What was so insulting was how it is displayed, how Black women are treated in the workplace. I appreciated Cory Booker. I felt that. Mm, yeah, I said this. If you follow me on Twitter, I said I get Cory Booker. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, Cory Booker. Sometimes you be saying cute stuff, but sometimes, bruh, just sometimes, my nigga. Let me read it on my Twitter. Also, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Diamond Styles. DIAMONDSTYLZ. This is what I said about Cory Booker. Let me see if I can find it. Here it goes. So I say, Cory Booker always gives me a Butch Queen scammer vibe. You know, one of those Butch Queens that's always got a fab story to tell, but you never really believe it. But you can't prove that it's a lie, so you just sit there and listen. Yes. Oh yes. Follow me on TikTok too. Thanks. Without the space. But he always Corey always give me a scammer. He always give me a Butch Queen scammer. And not just a politician type of scammer. Just every time I hear him talking, I'm like, yeah, that's what I got from him. He just doesn't give me what I need. Cory Booker is Jack and Jill Black. He's obviously gay, but of a certain age and hides. Interesting. See, I don't want to see. I'm trying to move out of the space of thinking things are obviously blank, obviously a label. Um, because I think sometimes that doesn't give men room to be soft and straight, to be masculine and straight, to be it doesn't give them nuance of existence and still be straight. I'm sorry, getting over like some kind of cold, so I'm gonna be coughing. um, and so when there are some things that I'm like, "Ooh, you just seem so gay to me," but and sometimes they say they're not, and I don't want to give them a label or say it's obvious because those type of what is quote unquote obvious doesn't give them the room. I want to give cis men room, particularly straight cis men, room to be and present, without having without always being like, you suspect. Is that weird? I just want I'm trying to be the change that I want to see. And I think sometimes even our own community can be like, yeah. Mm, I don't know. Hear me out. Hear me out. So there is a level of Rosario Dawson. There is a level of there's a type of black man, usually a blurred, which is a black nerd, usually a blurred, that sometimes they be in anime, sometimes they would be considered a nerd nowadays. And because of who she is, because of her being this exotic POC person, non-black POC woman, Rosario has a fan base in that because of things that she's done in her past, as far as her career, She has a nerdy black boy fan base that I could see Cory Booker, because sometimes the nerdiness of a black boy can translate to some people as being kind of feminine or being kind of gay or being queer. The nerdiness. And it's not that they are queer, it's just that they're so abnormal to the stereotypical black man. And I'm not talking about, being hard and gangster, but sometimes how they maneuver in the world can be perceived as not necessarily feminine, but queer enough to where somebody could mistake it for gayness. and there are certain girls in our celebrity sphere that are in this pocket with those type of men. And Rosario is one of them. So it wouldn't be hard for me to believe, because of the things that she has done in her past, in her like her independent career, stuff that she was in Sin City, things that were associated with like comic books, things that were she's been on voiceover for games, all these Rosario, where she has her pop stuff, but some of her other work is in that nerdy kind of realm, and so she easily could be one of those the black boy nerd fans. And I mean, Cory Booker could easily be one of a dream person that he could have wanted to be with. And being that he is she is a celebrity that's active in politics, particularly left wing politics, and he is a politician, and they are in the same, they're in the same area. It's not really abnormal to me. I could eat that can easily be explained to where I don't think it. When I say all of that to say, I don't really think it was fake. If you look at the surface of Rosario, it can seem abnormal. But if you have followed her career and some of the blurred things that she's done, excuse me, I actually could see how they could connect. And I'm saying all this while still thinking Cory Booker is a faggot. Don't get me wrong. my gaydar is saying that, but I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be, give you something to think about and give the possibility for him to be free. Now, my unevolved self, okay, girl, that's my sister girl. I don't care what nobody say. But my evolved self is giving you something to chew on that can explain that kind of coupling. A few people think that about Hazel, that his softness and effeminate because he is quiet and nerdy, but when they get to know him, like, oh, he's not effeminate at all. Yeah, but how can I say this? I think we as trans women, I think we as so look, I think this is a difficult conversation without being problematic. Um, I'll just say it. You can disagree with me or not. I think men who date trans women are not necessarily gay, but they are queer. My definition of queer. Queer being outside of the norm. I wouldn't call them gay, but I think this is a queer situation. I don't think it's just straight. You know. Um, I can run with the idea if we're, if you a sex change and they met you in certain circumstances, I can run with the idea. I can run with it. But if you're not a sex change and y'all hooking up and y'all doing your thing, I am definitely not gonna call them gay, but I'm definitely not gonna call them this a whole. I'm definitely not gonna think that this is a whole like plain old cishet relationship. Now, if you want to call it that and you want to be identified as that, I'm gonna respect your pronouns. I'm gonna respect your pronouns and respect your labels, whatever. I'm gonna respect you, but there's some queer something going on here. Queer. I'm very distinctly not saying gay because I know what that means. But and that may be because I have no problem with the label of like a queer woman or a queer person, queer bodied individual. I don't have a problem with those labels. So I think that there is a level of it for me to explain, identity and sexual orientation in the nuance and overlay that comes with those lived experiences when it comes to identity and things that can overlap and get gray and get blurry. I think queer is the best word for me in my definition of queer to um there's something queer going on here. The title of your next book. There's something queer going on here. Yes. Right. There's something queer going on here, baby. um that is a good title too. That would be a great title actually for my next book. That would be great. I have to think about that. um because that is what it's about, baby. What the hell is happening? People is experimenting and using me as the lightning rod, or what is it? The whatever the word is for it. My brain is foggy as that. Um, but yes, I think that queer is the best word for me to use to describe it for myself. Now, I'm not. If I meet a guy and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're queer," and he says, "No, I'm not queer," are trans amorous men. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Are it, trans amorous men are in queer relationships. To me, I wouldn't call them gay relationships, but I would call them queer relationships. And queer for me, the definition of queer to me is outside of the norm, outside of the outside of the realm of cis heteronormativity, outside of that. What you doing, Big Daddy? Hmm. Yeah. And there is okay, well, my point that I was getting to about because you brought up Hazel. And so I feel like I feel like there is an area of nerdhood. Like when we think about all the things that for a black boy that stereotypically is nerdy. A lot of things the key thing people talk about is like video games. Now we know these are all stereotypes, but video games, anime, science, you know, these typical nerdy things that you know I think that when we Japanese culture, now I want to say Japanese Asian culture, how those things can be because anime is associated with that, because video games is associated with that, science, and just how America thinks of those kind of things. comics. Um, when we think of these genre of things, science, anime, comics, math, Marvel movies. Yeah, when we think of those things, if you think about culturally, the culture of those things, transness is first seen in a lot of those things. Like when we think about the first trans comic character, that was a long time ago. When we think about video games, we start having hentai porn. Come on now. Um, when we start having there literally was a character in was it Morrowind or the Elder Scrolls years ago, like years ago. That was one of the first queer characters. Um, Patchouli's, I think it's Patchouli's Hirelings. Patchouli's Hirelings. Let me see. There was a yeah, like one of the first gay characters. Um, was this drug what in 1985 this drug character named Paco. um that was in the 80s. Then there was one in the, because this is that's I was not playing games in regards to gay characters back then. In 1988 Super Mario Brothers 2, Birdie was a trans woman. In the first edition manual for the North American release, the game, the birdie is referred to as a male who believes that he is a female. Super Mario Brothers 2, Birdie is a male character that believes that they are female. So the one with the bows that can shoot the balls out, that was friends with Peach, Birdie was a trans woman. Do y'all remember that? Y'all probably don't because we were kids. But that was Super Mario Brothers 2. So this is what I mean. Queerness was introduced in these genres of like anime, video gaming. So think about it. If you are a nerd little boy or nerd little person, you're getting introduced to these concepts of queer people early on. And so by the time the rest of the world catches up in 2010, 15, 20, you already been exposed to this. So it's nothing for you to have met a trans woman and be like, oh, she's beautiful. Best of both worlds. you know, and it not shake your whole fucking identity. Um, that was in Nintendo. Then the Japanese version, Birdie, her name was Catherine, which was stated that it was a character who was a man who wished to be a woman. In the later printing, mention Birdie being male was omitted, so they took it out. But the original versions, they were supposed to be that. Um, yes, Mother Birdie. Also, in 1989, Circuit Edge, Yasmin or Saeed Yasmin was a trans woman. The game featured a transgender woman named Yasmin, alleged to be the player's character former lover, a gay man named Saeed. Not a man who thinks that they're a woman. You know, this is in the 80s, honey. you know, their language can get real witchy. Let me see. And then um, y'all know in like role play character games, there'll be let me give you an example. So like the dagger of Amon Ra, there were two female lovers that were lesbians. And one of the roles you have to go do a quest and you don't know, it's a woman telling you to go look for their spouse. You feel what I'm saying? Go look for their spouse, but you don't know that you're looking for another woman. Um, yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Ones that I remember totally. Um, there's a game called Streets of Rage. Y'all remember Ash from Streets of Rage? He was gay. Um, he's like the boss of the Streets of Rage game. Um, and don't let me get on. Y'all know him from Powderpuff Girls. Y'all know him with his thigh boots and everything. You know. Where was it really exploded in the 90s. It really started to be, many people, many characters. Fallout, if anybody played Fallout, there was a couple of characters in 1998. Miria, Davin was bisexual. Um, I feel like the Cartoon Network period was notorious for that. Yes, yes, they were. Particularly, 90s to early 2000s. Um, Let me see. Of course, Sims let you. Um, it better not be no money. Why you talk about dudes for favors? It better not be no money, honey, because I'm broke. Um, yeah, you were able to, you know, and when the Sims came out in 2000s, the Sims can be, no, oh no, no. Oh, you smoking crack? 1 second. Mm, I I always made the hottest Sims guy. Yeah, so let's see. Then when you get into, of course, Final Fantasy, that is along the anime video game genre. Um, Queen of Quinn in fantasy, I think Final Fantasy 9. Queen of Quinn is a playable character who belongs to a genderless race called the Q, referred to by pronouns she, he throughout the throughout the game. The Q bizarre appearance offer little clues as to any intended orientation. Um, yes. Who else? Um, Star Wars: Night of the Republic. Yeah, Star Wars started getting real queer. Um, let's see. Okay, 2004, Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. Vivian is a trans woman. Vivian is a transgender woman who is mocked by her elder sister, Ballman, who misgenders her and refers to her as a crossdresser. This is in Paper Mario in 2004. Fable 2004. You could play characters, they're NPCs, which is non playable characters who are gay or bi. 2004, the second Sims game. Um, what else? What other ones? So let me think. Let me think. Who else? What's the ones? I don't know that one. Let's see. In 2004, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Rena Walzemeyer, genderqueer member. Yep. Is an adult film director. She is assigned female at birth. She undergoes 4 sex surgeries, female to male, and then male to female, and then female to male again. All this mess. So much going on. Hey, Nehemiah, how are you? Grand Theft Auto again. The same person going back and forth in their genders. They're playing games. Y'all know that's shady. Playing all them damn games, going back and forth. Mass Effect, Commander Shepard could potentially be gay, lesbian, or bisexual. Y'all remember Mass Effect? I love Mass Effect. That was so fun. I love Mass Effect. Lara Tassoni, bisexual. I love Mass Effect. That was so fun. Assassin's Creed. Um, Abul Luquad is gay. I loved Assassin's Creed. Y'all remember Assassin's Creed? And Gay Tony, Fable 2, tons of people, Let's see. Grand Theft Auto, Bernie Crane, gay. The Grand Theft Auto ones was always funny, but always problematic too. Hey Fresh. Did I miss anybody else? Hey Alexander. The character Ming, the merciless from Flash Gordon, was supposedly written as a trans character. And the interesting was Dale Arden, who was the first supposed to be a prince. Yep. 2009, gay Tony, Anthony Prince was gay. Gay Tony. Um, Now in 2009, of course, League of Legends comes out, and there was a bunch of lesbians. The stereotypical Jewish gay guy in New York, Bernie Crane, was messing with the mayor. If you League of Legends, y'all know how nerdy that game is. Diana, Leona, V, Caitlin, Nico, they all were lesbians. Varus, Graves, Twisted Graves were all gay, and then you had bisexual, which was Twisted Fate. Yeah. Then in Assassin's Creed 2 in '09, Leonardo da Vinci was gay. Um, Dragon Age Orient. Ooh, I forgot about that. I forgot about Dragon Age. Dragon Age, you could be gay as hell. Could you be gay? Who could you marry in Skyrim? You had to get that ring and marry that Mara ring, right? And marry somebody in Riften. You could marry your assistant that you earned, right? From the Blades. Did y'all play Skyrim? Couldn't you get married? Like if you take your your partner to Riften, you can get married to your partner, and it could be gay or it could be man or woman. Wasn't that right in Skyrim? Skyrim marriage, gay marriage. When was gay marriage allowed in Skyrim? Yeah, you could. Yep, because I remember. And I don't know if y'all play Skyrim, but Skyrim is like a part of like Elder Scrolls world, and you could. There was a certain kind of ring, and you had to you get these, and he Da Vinci was gay in real life in the Renaissance. Yes, very queer, even when it was illegal. Groundbreaking, groundbreaking. Shaking up the world with inventions and ideas, just like the queer folks of every century, every decade. um, yeah, I tell people this. I was like, bring me a time. Name me a time that the world changed, whether it be from technology, social change, and you will find a queer person at the center of that. Because I feel like you have to be, in order for you to be groundbreaking and inventive, you can't have the mentality of doing the square basic shit. In order for you, and inspiration comes from not just the genre of who you are, the genre that you're trying to change. So like if you're trying to change in science, you get in your queerness is what's informed you to think outside of the box. That's what gets you to that level so you can do something new and fresh. And it translates from, it could be your sexuality, it could be your identity, it could be whatever. It's those type of things making that's making your brain think outside the box that can lead to you doing something amazing in your boring ass mundane work. You feel what I'm saying? I watched a good documentary on Netflix by Andy Warhol. Now, part of it I get. part of it, part of the let's talk about Andy Warhol. So part of it I was like, ooh, this is sickening. Ooh, this is love. This is you can see the connection of how Andy Warhol made impact on the culture. But you also see the connection of how Andy Warhol was leeching, was a fucking leech. When we think of Basquiat, when we think of people he was having, that he was controlling in his even when we think of Gia Darling, is it not, is it Gia Darling? Yeah, Gia Darling. Did you see Gia Darling's Gia Darling's documentary? She passed away. Um yes, I watched the documentary. Um so it just feels like there's a certain, while it, how do I explain this? Like there was simultaneous things happening. You had, what, how, I can't explain this. I haven't I really I, I haven't sat down and thought about this, and I don't want to say something wrong, not out of feeling like I need to censor, but because I just watched the documentary and I have thoughts about it and I haven't really thoughtfully thought, I don't want to just say whatever. Um Without giving it more thought, because there could be some weird privilege things layered in my own experience in um so I want to be thoughtful in how I think about it, and how I critique it. I thought he was trying to get the folks a coin. No, there was some times that he wasn't trying to get the folks a coin. Look at when that's what they were talking about, um when he took the pictures of the drag queens, took the pictures of all the drag queens. And I'm gonna get this. I actually, one of the reasons why, because I watched the documentary, I'm getting this put on this wall right here because I think this was gorgeous to me. Isn't that gorgeous? These are all the, not every single one, but this is the picture that I liked of the girls who Andy Warhol took pictures of. Like he went and got the girls from, he admitted that it was a sleazy place. And in the documentary, they would talk about how, he can be kind of racist and he can be kind of problematic in the diaries. Like the diaries are published. Um, and so, but I love that picture, and I love this one too, and this one. I love that one, and that one. Yeah, I love them. So I'm gonna, but the one that's gonna go on the wall is this one because it has all four of them. But anyway, right. So he took their pictures, but he was doubling the commission when he would finish them. He would double what he would charge people to get it, but he wasn't giving them any money, the models, or transferring the money. So you have established this business, these Warhol Enterprises, and you are using these people, their look, their posing, because these are looks they created. It's not like you created them to look like this. You went and got them and started taking pictures. Um, and you're not transferring that money to them. And I thought that was exploitative. I thought that it was, I even think that what he was doing with Basquiat, even though he was already a heyday artist, I think he was using Basquiat to come up, to be back relevant. He was losing his relevancy. And so he was stamping him as the new it person, but also I'm I'm still I'm still using this situation to establish myself as, yes, I may be have days gone by icon, but I'm still a tastemaker. My opinion still matters in this realm of art, and I stamp who's the next in line. And I think that that is exploitative too. I get it, but I think that that was exploitative too. And it was no surprise that when they did that beautiful collaboration, that that was a beautiful collaboration between Warhol and Basquiat. It was beautiful. I think they explained it well. It was. It's no surprise that you get what I'm saying. Basquiat was kind of, it was a negative thing. It was praised for Warhol, but kind of like a down thing for Basquiat. I think in his mind, it was an honor to be photographed by Andy. He also elevated those culture. Yes, and I don't think that I don't think that Basquiat knew any of this was going on. I think Basquiat thought that this is just this is a cultural icon. This is an artist. He has done what um what I want to be. I want to be the artist. I want to be an artist that lives off my art. Like he is not a struggling artist the way the rest of us is. And I think he did look up to Andy. And I think he also knew that he was that bitch too. You get what I'm saying? He also knew that I'm that bitch right now. With or without you. But because I respect you as an artist, I can come in here and feel no kind of way. I can be like, oh my God, I still respect this is Andy Warhol. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to feel, we do two different things, but you are stamping me as the new motherfucker. Give him the side eye for calling Basquiat a nigger. And all these things are why I feel like Warhol was more. It wasn't as wholesome as he would want to make us believe. I don't think the intentions were as wholesome. Does that make sense? but he definitely wasn't transferring what all kind of money that he was getting to the people, from what I'm to understand. Mm. Um, yes, does that make sense? Um, what else do I have to say about that? Well, I would have made this if I knew we were gonna talk about this. I would have made this. That's what this can be. Um, shit. I wish I would have started off with that. How do I explain this? There are some people who I think I love that it's Maryland. What do you mean? His Maryland painting is being sold at auction for 200 million. The price 20th century painting, the highest priciest 200 century painting ever sold. I love that it's Maryland. I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't love that it's Maryland. Yeah. Why do you love that it's Maryland? Why? Why is that? Maryland is the white femme. I don't know. Maryland represents a level of white um, femininity that is, I don't know. Um, I have a love and I have a love and hate for Maryland. I have a love of this is what I love about Maryland. So I love that Maryland left like Joan Crawford, like many of the white stars of the day. Um, because and this will take me back to Andy Warhol too. There's many actresses that we see as white stars of today. There's some nepotism, of course. There's some actresses that my father was this actor, and Now I became this. The Hepburns. When we think about that, when we think about Audrey Hepburn, they were kind of come from socialites, and they just so happened to be pretty, so they led into stuff. Okay. Um, but there are some girls who I am not some socialite motherfucker. I am Norma Jean. I am from the Barrymores, yes. I am from Hookamatu, Kentucky with nothing. And I have gone out here to Hollywood and revamped my look, got my motherfucking hairline electrolysis, went blonde, did this, got my whole look motherfucking together and became a star. Changed my name and became a star. Joan Crawford is one. Marilyn Monroe is one. Is Betty Davis one? I can't remember Betty Davis's history. And Betty Davis wasn't a stereotypical beauty. Betty Davis was, to me, she was an atypical beauty that was so unique, and so her talent was so captivating that it made her pretty. And we see this like this may be offensive to some, but I think like Barbara Streisand is one of those where they have atypical beauty, but the way they sell it makes it sickening. Lucille Ball, yeah, there's a brilliance to their beauty and how they package it. That so so anyway. So Marilyn Ivory, I look at her and I see that as a class overcomer, and then her business savvy, and to make this character, the character of Marilyn, that's not her. Basically, Marilyn did what Paris Hilton fucking did. Like she made a character of herself. This is what the men like, and I can play this character in movies and off screen and people will love me. Um, I can be the untouchable bombshell that presidents cheat on their wives with. I can be, or they make rumors or lie about sleeping with me. I'm that, whereas Jane Mansfield was like the poor man's Marilyn Monroe. Um, Marilyn was the elite man's fantasy. She created this character while all the time investing her money in becoming one of the first women studio owners herself. And so there's this hustle of underdog coming into a whole different class and using the tools of patriarchy, using, white feminine beauty, using these things to come up. While on one level, I admire that. But as a black woman a black trans woman, let me just add that too, because as a black trans woman, I will never have access to using that to my advantage to shift my class. So part of me resents it and part of me admires it. Does that make sense? So there's a love and hate for Marilyn of what she represents. She represents a comeuppance. I don't know if that's a word, but a comeuppance, like an underdog, using these girly feminine wiles to control her public image and it benefiting her in the long run. But also, everybody can't get to that peak. That whatever that peak is that you created, everybody didn't have access. When we think about um, Dorothy Dandridge, and you know, because she was shit the Black Marilyn Monroe. If you think about it, even like her image, if you put their pictures together, it looks exactly the same in regards to how they did their hair, lipstick they wore, poses that they did. It's you just was the black version of, the black version. Um, but still, you may in if we're just comparing you to all black women, you could reach that peak, but you never could get to that white peak. But the notion of Norma Jean going through a proverbial transition of sorts is quite admirable. Right. The part of that comeuppance, that change, that taking yourself and creating something that is so marketable. That is creating something that is so marketable that it is selling on shelves right now. Your image, what who brought that up? Divina Soul. Like Divina Soul, your image is selling for 200 million to this day, and bitch, you've been dead. Marilyn also helped Ella Fitzgerald get noticed. Um, uh, yeah, that did happen, but I don't want to say noticed as a singer. Ella was already getting noticed as a singer, but in certain circumstances, Marilyn forced their hand. Um, Marilyn was like, "Honey, if y'all don't let her do her thing, I ain't gonna come to this motherfucker." So she used her privilege to get her in open doors, into doors open. But Ella was already a star and being noticed for her vocal ability without Marilyn. So getting noticed, I wouldn't say getting noticed as a singer, but getting in the doors of certain segregated clubs. Yes, Marilyn helped her do that. I, because I don't like to give. You get what I'm saying? I feel kind of weird putting that in the hands of a white woman. All of Ella's success. Ooh, Marilyn got her notice as a singer. Not really, but I get I get I know what you mean. I know the story that you talk of. Yeah, but I know what you mean. I totally get it. But yeah, she did do what she can to get her to play in certain doors. But yeah, she was already doing her thing, using our bodies to gain power and influence over people is something most of us can relate to. Yeah, I totally get that. Like, and it's at this peak level. Anybody can be a hoe. You can sell some pussy, sell some ass to a motherfucker. But I'm talking about to this culture shifting level that Marilyn Monroe. Think about when she did is it 7 Year Itch? What's the one when she was on the subway and the thing was blowing? That shit that she did with her legs and the train is blowing the dress up, da 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 da. Us seeing that today is like, child, what? That ain't shit. We don't see pussies and dick on hard pussies and dicks on this season of Euphoria. We done seen a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff has changed, but at the time, she was doing some culture shifting shit and taking whatever negative um backlash from it and taking it like a fucking champ. Like, yeah, y'all can think what y'all want, but I'm gonna get this money. You gonna go and see it. It would be PG-13 today. Yeah, like what? You the wind blowing your skirt up, girl. What? We seeing tits and ass. Child, she got her a residency at one club. Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Like she helped her in that situation, but Ella was already Ella. Ella had already established her, her motherfucking her bag, honey. Ella was already the lady of song, and they knew it. Like she was booked in the location They just didn't want her to come through the front door. We want you to come and shuck and jive and sing for us, but we don't want you to come through the front door. Got to be with the Negroes. um. So yes. So that's the hard. It's kind of like when I see those kind of those all American blonde bombshell beauty girls. Like when we think about that you could never be if you black. When we think about who like shit, Claudia Schiffer, is it Jane Seymour? When we think about even like Christy Turlington, even though Christy Turlington, she's spicy white Latina, for real, for real. Um, it's just a level, especially at that time, a level of beauty that there's a certain era of beauty that is the quintessential that you could never be if you are a black person, if you are a person of color, visually a person of color. You're always going to be deemed the exotic or the that you can't be the girl next door. You can't be now. Of course, shit is shifting, but you couldn't be that. You couldn't be that kind of blonde bombshell. You never could have been the Farrah Fawcett. Maybe even the Cindy Crawfords, or yeah, it's a certain level of white feminism the white femininity standard that you could never be, and that we're constantly chipping away on what that it looks like. That's why we have. That's why every couple of decades there is somebody who starts to kind of look more and more like us. Think about Cher becoming an icon because she wasn't exactly that stereotypical white blonde beauty, but she was that kind. She had an exotic look without looking too exotic. You feel what I'm saying? It's a different look. It's a different beauty. Then when we think about this era, like you know the when Kim started to be Kim, Kim had a unique kind of look once she got all of her she had a unique look, a different kind of Cher-esque beauty. Raquel Welch, absolutely exotic and blonde, but even Raquel Welch, she was like an exotic. She was always considered exotic. Um, Sophia Loren, I always consider her exotic, but Raquel Welch was that. You right, was kind of like teetering on that. What's happening here? And there only can be a few of them happening at one time, if not just one. But there can be a millions of Claudia Schaefer's, a millions of excuse me, what's the girl, the bunking girl, Tom Brady's wife, Giselle. While she is the kind of Brazilian, she's still white, blonde looking that. Yeah. So so that's what I mean by having a love and hate relationship with Marilyn. I've, I've had a couple of pictures of Marilyn. Marilyn is right here, actually. Marilyn is actually under all these pictures. This is the art piece. If I pull all these black girls off, Marilyn is under her. Like this is Marilyn's hair right here. I intentionally put them over her. Same thing right here. This is Marilyn's leg. You see this right here? This is Marilyn's leg. If I take James off, it's Marilyn sitting in a chair with her legs up. Y'all don't know that, but it's for me. This black beauty is covering up motherfucking Maryland. This black queer beauty. Let me see if I can take this down without it messing up. Let me see. So, you'll see that. Yeah, that's a picture of Marilyn. I intentionally put the pictures in here to cover her up because I'm an artful bitch too. That believes in symbolism and believe that your artwork should represent you and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to dismantle. And one part of me is I'm trying to dismantle, that kind of beauty, you know? And so, let me see if I can put this back up without it messing up. Ooh. Ooh, this might not work. I'll put it up later. Everything will fall down. But yes, that's what I think I have. This Maryland picture is not, let me see if I can point it. This Maryland picture is not covered up because I think that was a culture shifting moment. And so I kept it because it represents the culture shifting moment to me. Um, yeah, and I have a picture of Marilyn over here, but I'm about to get that taken down. It's about to be my I have another. I commissioned this guy to make a picture of myself, and he's working on it now. So yeah, I think I have a love and hate relationship. Most Mostly love, but there's some annoyance with Maryland. Anyway, so how does that relate? I talked about that because the V, how do you say that? Dion, I don't know how to say your first name. The Dian Dianiva 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 Soul. Can you phonically put that out so I can know how to spell it? Is it Dianiva? Dianiva Soul. Anyway, because she said that Marilyn sold for 200, so that was like a. But also Andy, I think there's times in our history where just because of the nature of technology, nature of um, where we were in our time. Oh, Geneva. Okay, you had access to shit. I was like, this must be some special name, Geneva. Okay. um, there's a time. It reminds me of like Phyllis Whitley. Like Phyllis Whitley, she was a black slave that the white teacher taught to read, and she was like, "See, look at this amazing poetry by this slave girl. If we just give them a chance, they can be just as great as us. Slavery is wrong. Look at this amazing little Negro girl, little negress, writing poetry." And then you read the poem and you like, girl. But in the era of time when we didn't have Negro writers, of course this is brilliant because it was illegal for them to read, and you have this girl writing poetry. So everybody's like, oh, fascinating, brilliant. That's kind of how I feel about Andy Warhol. If you look at his technique of his art, people are doing what he's doing on t-shirts every day now in this era. Like those print, he taking those print and doing the paint stuff on the prints. People are doing that on t-shirts every day. But because that was kind of new technology at the time, what he doing ain't fucking. I don't know. It feels it's like, boy, this ain't no. You get what I'm saying? When we think about painters and artists, they doing some magical ass shit. He wasn't doing no magical ass shit. It didn't feel magical to me. So apparently somebody else thought it was magical. Because he's Andy Warhol. So I want to hate on what somebody thought it was magical. But why, if I'm to be honest, but why I think that Andy Warhol was this person in this time of in our culture is because he was white and ugly. He was a white, ugly gay man. And two things, when you're unattractive, when you are unattractive, it, it makes people less intimidated by you. You are less of a threat. And I think you can creep in. Who Andy Warhol was, he could creep in on multiple sides of the aisle when it comes to being poor, when it comes to being rich, because you are an ugly white gay man. You're going to go unnoticed in both, wherever you go. You're going to go unnoticed. And so you can get in the doors to be able to do all the stuff that he was doing to become Andy Warhol. It's not because what is brilliant to me, this is my opinion. What is brilliant to me is your social skills. That's the brilliant. It's not your art to me. It's not your art. It is your ability to be a tastemaker. Exactly. Look, you are totally right, Todd. Look at and to me, Basquiat's pictures were more intricate. They were abstract, but they were way more intricate than like he literally got famous for taking a picture of a fucking Campbell's soup. The brilliance comes in you pick this fucking you pick this American icon. But it goes back to what I was telling people, without not telling people, I'm sorry. I had this conversation with this white woman in the nail shop one time and we were arguing with her. And to me, I would say she was being fucking racist. She was, first of all, I think I told y'all this story, but if y'all knew. So I was in the nail shop. Follow me because I know I'm on overplay. But I'm in the nail shop and I'm in and me and this black girl, me and this black girl, we were having a typical black girl moment. If you're a black girl, you have had this moment. You meet a stranger black girl. You meet somebody, a black girl you don't know. She's a stranger, but her hair looks sickening. Something about her hair, whether it be a sickening wig, whether it be some dreads, whether it be some braids, what if there's something about her hair and you see it, it looks sicky. And you say, "Ooh, that hair is pretty." Da-da-da. Where you get the hair from, or you say something for her to indicate to let you know what's up with your hair, bitch. That looks sicky. And so y'all have a moment of, "Ooh, I got this. My homegirl at." Y'all have this moment of black hair, and then y'all start talking about black hair with each other because it's something that happens in our culture. We talk about our hair. We talk about problems that we may have come across with our hair that we don't have the culture hasn't fixed for us, but we found a fix for it. Shit like that. Put a 1 if you're a black girl and you've been in that situation where, you get what I'm saying, you've had this moment with another stranger black girl. So we were having that moment in the nail shop. We were talking about both of us going natural. We were talking about our experiences going natural. We were talking about our experiences with our mother going natural. We were talking about, all the things that happens with going natural, like your friends or your family trying to get you to get you out of doing it, to get you out, just our different journeys in growing natural. Any black girl that has went natural, you probably gonna have the same kind of stories or similar issues. Oh, we couldn't this conditioner to dry my hair out. We were having this moment. This is something we bond over. Anyway, so let me show you how to. So it's only 3 people in the store. 3 people. It is me, a white woman, and her. The white woman is now. This is literally the day that I find out that Monica has passed away. Monica Roberts. This is literally that day. Just the other day with a girl in the drive-thru. Exactly. This is literally the day that Monica passed away. So but it's the end of 2020. We just now getting to the point where folks we're coming outside or figuring out a way to come outside. And so we're sitting I'm in the pedicure seat. We are 2 seats away from each other because of COVID. The white woman is sitting to my right. We both are in the pedicure seats. There's 2 seats in between us. 1 seat. Yes, 1 seat in between us. The black girl is getting her nails done, so she's sitting. There's only 1 nail tech. So when me and the black girl is having a moment about her hair, the white woman jumps in and says, "Oh, I have the same issue. My hair just gets so frizzy." Okay, child. Anyway, so yeah. So me and the black girl look at each other and we get back to do when she interrupts with her white girl frizzy hair. That ain't got nothing to do with ours. We do our thing. So because I am just who I am, I'm not about to give you that no attention, man. I'm not about to give you. But she keeps trying to jump in our black girl moment conversation. Yeah, when I got older, my hair just got so frizzy. Now me, I don't older. She's older. Now me, I don't really give them that much attention. And I give off a vibe of like I will roll my eyes. So I'm not even giving her any verbal cues that I'm interested in what she has to say. But let me now y'all press 1 if y'all relate to what I'm about to say too. There's a few type of black girls. We are not a monolith in our engagement with white girls, with white people. There are black girls who are like, and then there are black girls who are like, Oh, you too? Uh-huh. Da-da-da. They will entertain the foolishness from these white people. And so I was the black girl who, and she was the black girl who you can hear it in her voice that she likes to code switch. Because while she's talking to me, her black girl voice is on. But while she's talking to the white woman, her code switch voice is on. And it's distinct. It ain't even like kinda. It is like, oh, you put your Hillary Banks on for this bitch. Something old. You one of those. Put a we call them coons. But she's one of them code switching black girls. Do y'all put a one if you know these type of girls? So I'm noticing. So I'm noticing that how she's engaging with the white woman is not how she was engaging with me. And I was like, oh, I'm in a space that I'm too woke for. Because I'm not playing with you and I'm not playing with you. So all right, I'm about to put my headphones on. We had our little fun little black girl moment. Men too as well. We had our little fun little black girl moment. That moment is over. Because this is where our black girl camaraderie ended. So I'm gonna take my ass. I'm gonna take my ass over here and put my headphones on and soak my feet in my whatever little pretty little blue salt bath water the nail tech then put on my little feet. So she's done with her nails, so she's putting her in the pedicure seat, the black girl. So now we're in the me, white woman, skip a seat, white woman, skip a seat, black girl. So seat in between all of us. The black girl is trying to now talk to me. Continue the conversation. I'm not mad about it. I'm almost 1.5. I'm not mad about her trying to talk to me. She ain't said nothing rude, but now that I see the type of girl that you are, now I'm kind of like, I don't even know if I want to play in this conversation no more. So she says so she's talking to me and we talk about something. And the white woman says, but because she's talking to me and I'm not trying to be rude or whatever, she eases me back in the conversation. The black girl eases me back in the conversation where I can't remember exactly what we were talking about. But then the white girl says, oh, I keep calling her a girl. This is a grown woman, extra grown. She's got to be like 60. This is not a middle age. This is older woman. This is a older than 55, younger than 70. And so she says, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what she says, but she says something irrelevant to our conversation that is political, not racist. Not she don't say anything like racist, but she joins in the conversation with something political that's relevant but not relevant. Like we see how her brain brought her here, but this really ain't the time to bring that up. But you're choosing to bring it up in a conversation between two black women, and you're bringing it up, and it's uncomfortable. I don't know the exact words that she used, but it's something political, something going on political. And we're like, and I look and I say, oh no, I'm not having this conversation. What? Oh, like I verbally say, no, I don't entertain those kind of conversations. But I don't say it to the white girl. I say it to the black girl. I don't entertain those kind of conversations with white people. Like I literally say this out my mouth. Oh, I don't entertain those kind of conversations with white people. And I go now at this point, because it's something that indicates that she's a Trumper. It's nothing racist. I want to make that very clear. It's something about I don't know what the fuck we were talking about. We were talking about hair. I can't remember. I wish I could know exact word, but y'all know the type of microaggressions I'm talking about, where the white woman says something that's relevant to the conversation, but it's a clear indication that she's a Trumper or a conservative or a Republican because it's political, but she's making her statement. She's taking her stance. And so I take my stance because it's like a 101. It's like her saying something about black on black crime, or saying something like, see, this is why we shouldn't defund the police. Something like that, where it's political and it's a dagger. It's like a little cut where you like, Miss Karen, I'm not playing with you today. You don't have the range for this. That's what I mean. And so it was something like that. And so when I say I don't have these type of conversations with white people, the black girl who, been code switching and, Hillary Bankson, she starts explaining to the white woman, and that's not racist, Diamond. Yes, it's we if you deep into understanding how racism works, yes, it's racist, but it's one of them saying, see, this is why we should not defund the police. That statement is not necessarily racist, but we know, because we know the history of racism and where that come from. If you woke enough, you know that's rooted in racism. But I can't necessarily say that it is racist, because that particular statement, you can have an opinion of why. There's black people who have an opinion of, I don't want to defund the police. You get what I'm saying? That statement is not particularly racist, but all you got to do is tap them and scratch the surface. If you engage in the conversation, tap the surface, and you immediately get down to the racism. That's one of those statements. That's what I mean, Serenity. Where it's one of those statements that's not, that on the surface it doesn't look like racism, but as soon as you scratch the surface to see what they think and see what they mean about it, you get to the racism. Super easy. It's like a thin layer of frosting on a cake. Soon as you get, it's cake under there. Microaggressions rooted in white supremacy and privileges. Absolutely. All of that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's something inherently racist about that statement. But somebody who is uneducated about race may not understand how these things are racism. So like a race 101 person. When I say, I call that gateway racism. Yes. So when I say I don't have these kind of conversations with white people, she looks over at me, and the black girl says, she doesn't say this verbally, but her tone of voice and her statement in trying to explain racist 101 to this white woman lets you know that, this is a moment that I can educate you. Oh, you want to be educated. Well, let me spend some time to educate you on the experience of Black women in the nicest way possible so you can really, really get it. And her tone of voice is so nice and pleasurable. And I'm looking like, oh, girl, ma'am, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? I have my headphones on. I could put my headphones on and enjoy my feet, enjoy my little situation. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this? Because you're a dumb bitch. You're a dumb bitch. You know this is a coon, and you know this is a racist. You saw it from the beginning when she talked about her frizzy hair. You knew, but you were trying to have a cute little Black girl moment with the coon. But you got caught up. Now you're in this whole situation with the coon and the racist. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a dumb bitch. Yeah, you're a dumb bitch. Put your headphones on and leave these bitches alone. They're crazy. This is what I'm going through in my mind. This is what I'm going through in my mind. So my dumb ass put my headphones on. And before I put my headphones on, before when I'm about to put my headphones on, she she reaches out her hand. Now she's not close enough to touch me, so she doesn't touch me. Um, and yet you keep them headphones out. Before I could put them in, she reaches out her hand and says, "Well, explain this to me." And she asked something about something that was race 101. And I looked at Anne. I looked at Anne. Anne is the nail tech. I looked at Anne, and Anne is like this. Because she's doing the lady's feet. Anne is a Vietnamese girl. She's doing the lady's feet. And she when the white lady asked the question, she looked at me like because I said what I said, she wants me to answer it. The white girl is in her high pitched house nigga voice. And she is trying to explain it to her, but she also doesn't have the range to explain it to her. And so when I look at Anne and I look at the white girl, I was like, okay, I got time today. I'm here, I'm waiting. I'm not doing anything else. Okay, cool. I got time. I'm gonna have time today. So I leave my headphones out and I look at her. I was like, she was, why can't you explain it to me? And I was like, let me give you the best thing that I can give you. And I tell her, I say, look, sweetie, um, you know how have you met men that they will come into space and they're all macho and arrogant, talking over people, um, being loud and just taking up so much space as a man. And they don't know how to tone it down and not talk over women and not be this kind of alpha male thing that people don't like, especially women, because it's disrespectful. If I'm making a point and you're interrupting me, if especially if I'm giving you a chance to talk, and then when it's my chance to talk, you don't give me a chance to talk, you're over talking to me, or or I say something and you don't acknowledge it and keep talking to the other men in the room because you don't even care about women. But if you ask him, why does he do that? He's oblivious to all this way. He's oblivious to the way he's acting and the way he's taking up space in the room. Like he doesn't understand and think of that as misogyny because his world revolves around men. And he is just trying to be the confident man in the room and put on this image to other men because those are the people that he respects. He don't need to respect you. Because most of the time the men in the room is the one with the money and the power. So he don't need to respect you at all. And he's not used to being in positions where he need to respect you. He's not used to being in positions, particularly if he's an alpha man with money. He's not usually in positions to where he needs to respect women because either the women that he comes in contact with is really just trying to get his money, and so they're trying to give the feminine, demure, submissive woman to please him, or some woman who, oh, you think you all that, or you think you got money, you think you got power, but you don't got more power than me, so I don't care about you anyway. Or I'm not attracted to you, so I ain't gotta respect you either. Have you met men like that? I ask her. I say, have you met men like that who are oblivious to their misogyny, like totally socially oblivious? And she says, yeah, I'm a woman. I've been in rooms with guys, and they don't know shit about what a woman experience is. Yeah. And that's annoying, isn't it? And she was like, yeah, but she says she don't say but she says, yeah. I said, that's just rooted in like gender. There's an element of that that parallels with race. White people, like that man, is oblivious is oblivious to how their privilege allows them to maneuver in the world. And you as a woman, because you are on the minority side of that coin, and when it comes to gender, you can't you can easily see when a man is misogynist. He doesn't even have to do too much. When he walks in the room, you can tell how he is from how he talks and how he maneuvers with women. You can see it immediately because you are trained by nature, trained by culture. I'm sorry, not by nature, trained by culture to see it and pay attention to it. Because we gotta navigate that. We gotta navigate it to be respected. In this moment, you are that man, just in race. And the black woman says, the coon black woman says, but she agrees, but she says, but if everything is a learning experience. So I'm over there like, you couldn't let her just sit in the discomfort. You couldn't just let her sit in the moment. You couldn't even just let her sit in the aha moment. You love white people so much that you're trying to give her a way out of the discomfort. You are a fucking coon. Let her sit in the discomfort. It is registering. And you're giving her a mental way out of the discomfort. But this is, and I'm sitting there like, bitch, shut up. I don't say this, but in my mind, bitch, shut up. Let her sit in it. Because you see the white woman for a second, have an aha moment. Oh, well, maybe that's true. And the devil don't need no motherfucking advocate. So once that happens, so once the black woman says that, she says, oh, so we're all racist. What? So, okay, cool. All right, now it's not fun anymore. Oh, I say it's not. Now it's becoming combative, and it's not fun anymore. And she says, "So we're all racist." And then she calls her daughter on the phone, and this is where it starts to get ugly. She calls her daughter on the phone and said, "Oh, I'm up here. I'm gonna have to stop coming to this nail place. Every time I come here, it's a problem. And yeah, these black girls, and it is a certain way that conservative white women in particularly, but not just white women, but conservative people say black girls. And these people, that sounds like it rhymes with nigger. These black girls up here, these black girls think I'm a racist. And so while she's on the phone with her daughter, thank you. But don't let extended long-term lighting affect their quality or color. Oh, this artwork is things that I created. And these paintings, I had to paint over her skin color so she wouldn't look white. She was brown enough, so she was cool. And they were only like $24 at Ross. So I can just go buy some more if they mess up. And these are just prints of pictures that I had printed at Walgreens. If they get messed up, I can just reprint them. No big deal. Um, but thank you, Magical Mermaid. Only thing is original artwork is this. This was made by a trans artist, a non-binary trans artist by the name of Jackson. her in the water reflecting. She's cute. Um, but I even think that that's a print, and I think I can get it reprinted from them. Anyway, so thank you. Anyway, so this is what happened with her. So she's talking to her daughter, and I say, now because we are in the shop of an immigrant, barely English speaking woman, and I'm like, oh, I don't want this racist shit to affect her business. So now I'm worried about Anne. I'm like, ooh, we don't want to ruin her little moment, her little money. And I'm like, God, I don't like that. um, and so, but she's talking about not coming and blah 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 blah. So I say, okay, let me just de-escalate the situation. But before I end it, I tell the black girl, I say, see, this is why I said I don't waste my time having these conversations, because no matter how much you explain it to them, they won't get it because they don't want to get it. Because what you're explaining to them goes against the racist ideologies that they want to have. So it don't matter how much stats and statistics or facts that you present to them, they don't want to not be racist. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, baby. And so out of all this code switching you did, all this code switching you did to coddle her and make her feel comfortable, and you're still the black girl that's making her uncomfortable. Not just me, baby girl. You too. And she shook her head and laughed. The black girl. She was like, gosh, you're right. So why I brought this story up, this is the part of the story that I think is relevant to Andy Warhol and his Campbell soup. I know I took a while to get back here. But she hung up with her daughter. Okay? She hung up with her daughter. And now everybody is quiet because now it's kind of awkward. And it's right at that stage where this could get real ugly and weird. She probably didn't. But now she's fed up though. Now the black girl's fed up. So now she is like, we didn't call you racist. Now she's annoyed. Okay. And so the white woman got some red, her toes are blue. She tells them, no, her toes are red. She tells Anne, she was like, you know what? I want you to put an American flag on my toenails because I'm a proud American. I say, ma'am, you can get that American flag on your toenails, but even that is a perfect example of white privilege, baby. Because only you, as a white person, can use the American flag as a dagger to try to hit us with, a cultural dagger. So you putting the white American flag, even though all of us is American, you know that because of the history of our secondary citizenship and all of that, you know that you can say, I can put the flag on my toes as some type of stab and dig at you people who are calling me racist. I can't do the same thing with the American flag to you. I can't say, and put the American flag on my toes, baby. So this bitch know that I'm American, baby. I can't, that's not the same type of dagger and weapon for me as a black woman. It doesn't have the same type of energy. It don't have the same type of cut that you think that it has. That's white privilege. The privilege of you can be the patriot. I cannot. Even though I've been born here the whole time. Generations. I can't be the patriot because my politics buck up against this racist system that this flag represents. But for you, It is the good old boys. It is the good. It is when America was great. It was when it's the sweet home Alabama. That's why they can run around with their flags and get it tattooed with the eagles, and why it can be an Aryan nation representation. We have to make our own flags. We got to do the black, red, and green. We got to do the black, the green, red, and yellow. We gotta make shit because this don't represent us, but it represents you, baby. So it just that's white privilege in itself. So you getting that little red flag on your toes, that's cute, girl. But understand that that's a perfect example too. Now I'm being shitty because now I'm being, you know, funky. All of that kind of stuff. So so she was like, "Yeah, I'm an American." I was like, "I am too." So anyway, so you can, because you are a white woman, you can in this circumstances weaponize this symbol because that symbol is is American, is whole American. And when we say American, we are not included in American. Technically, yeah, but they have to say Black American for us to have a conversation about America to be considered Americans. And when we just say American, it is always considered white, always. And so you're the only one who could weaponize that. So that's a whole story. Now done with that white bitch. And then an hour, 15 minutes later, when she left, I found out that Monica Robert had passed away. It was a horrible day that day. Anyway, so back to the Campbell soup shit and the lackluster genius or brilliance of Andy Warhol. Only you, a black man, couldn't have took a picture of Campbell soup and made that without any racial context. Okay. Now, if you take Campbell soup and put, like, remember, who was the artist? I can't remember her name. Who did Mammy? She did a Mammy version. She did like a ancient mama Mammy looking thing with a shotgun and the flag. Mm. Mammy shotgun flag artist art. No, that's not what I wanted. I have to find it for y'all. Mammy character holding a shotgun. I'm about to show it to you. Um, God, it was a classic image. Um, let me look. Let me look. What is the name of that woman? Anyway, I'll find it and try to post it like maybe on my Instagram or something. But anyway, the point is, our artwork when we use American symbols, it is usually in the context of some type of racist image or um we're making a racial statement. Ooh, Gordon Parks American flag picture with black woman. This one. Boom. Perfect. Yes. So y'all know Gordon Parks. This is one. When we used that shit, she was a worker in somebody's house. Watch the Gordon Parks documentary on HBO. That's the name of the artist, Marissa. What's her? That's the name, Betty Sahar. That's the name of the artist who did the picture that I'm talking about. Not this one. This is Gordon Parks, but that artist is the name of the artist of the picture. So if you can link to that, it's something. Boom. Yep, that is. I'm glad you said her name. This. So this is Mammy. She got the rifle. So these American iconic images. So this is a Mammy image. You know, Mammy is known, and you see the white baby on her arm, right there. You see the white baby. This is like this is an iconic image. Artist created this. But when we use these images, it's in bucking up against a system. It is some type of that's what it is. It's in response to racism. But that we can't be famous just using an iconic Campbell soup. If a black artist had a picture of just Campbell soup and it had no racial reference, they would not become famous off of that. You get what I'm saying? Like only a person like Andy Warhol, a white male artist, could become famous off of a picture of Campbell soup. Like that, we couldn't do that. We have to be saying something about racism. We have to be saying something about, for us to get popular, we have to say something. It has to be a juxtaposition. Yes, we have to be we can't just be free. You see what I'm saying? We can't just be free to be whoever we want to be in regards to our art. One of the things of liberation, one of the elements of liberation is being able to just be whatever, and not be in relation to you, and not be in juxtaposition to you, and not be in bucking up this system, because everything we create has to be that. That's why the type of art is called Americana when it's done by white people and not by us. Exactly. Of a Brillo pad. Stupid shit like that. That shit is fucking stupid. It's like, what? Like, it goes back to those kind of like that mediocre, that y'all can be mediocre and be famous and be, oh, oh, a Campbell soup can? Like, they can be mediocre. They can be dry, bland. That's why that woman could come on Oprah with some fucking chicken and win $1 million for a recipe with some chicken that ain't got no salt and pepper on it. You were invited here with some bland ass chicken. POC are not afforded mediocrity, not at all. So that's why when they're talking about Basquiat is primitive and childlike. His art was so complex. So complex. And when he worked with Andy Warhol, especially in that. Nigga, you still in love with trade that don't even want to fucking be openly with you. So much so that you got Paramount in the middle of the damn picture. This symbol of a nigga that don't fucking want you. You are bland and tired and boring. And Basquiat come in and jazz his shit up. Your shit would be boring without him. At this point, that's why you was famous in fucking 50s and 60s. And the art that you was creating in that era. Because black people couldn't get indoors to be sickening and do what they were doing. So of course you're gonna come up in this time period where shit is where only thing about you is cool as your queer is is the idea of your queerness. Trey took the secret to his grave. Yeah, let's be real. Like you are boring. You are boring. And now it's just I don't know. It's seeing them, seeing him. All of that was the privilege that they were talking about. Like we are like when we were thinking about when they were talking about that AIDS stuff, yo. When they were talking about that AIDS, when the AIDS crisis and what was happening, I was so frustrated. Like I understand that AIDS is becoming the equalizer because it was hitting everybody. But the way these privileged white boys was talking, and I'm sitting there like, you got AIDS and your ass got enough coins to go to a whole other state and live and play with your crystals and da 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 da. Like like anybody who know the history of the racist history of the AIDS epidemic, you looking at this like you privileged motherfuckers. Yeah, it was like oh I was just sitting there like y'all are even in privilege right now. His art has become like at this point basic and lackluster, but a status symbol. Yes, you are totally right, Marissa. Look at oh my god, y'all. Just I I was loving the history. I was loving the history and antics of it. I was loving that. But part of me was like, this is so exemplary of white mediocrity. When they were talking about when that woman she had an accent. When that woman was talking about the Last Supper exhibit, and she was like, it was the last. I can't do her accent, but it was the Last Supper, and he put the army fatigue on the Last Supper, and it's the juxtaposition of the religion and the army and war, and oh, it was oh magnifique and brilliant, and I was sitting there watching it like y'all, and then he did the Last Supper and changed the the it was pink. Like I was sitting there like, y'all, this is genius. I was gagged. And maybe I was tripping, but I just like a little bit more depth, a little bit more nuance. It was like, oh, I just may not be deep. I may I just it's just ah, this is so nothing to me. When I got older and realized how mediocre and pompous, don't forget, pretentious white artists are, I gagged. It just I was sitting there like, these white people are crazy. These white people are crazy. These white people are crazy. I'm like, what is happening? What is this? What is this? I just don't get it. This doesn't make sense. This is weird. I don't. Ah. And then the white woman shooting him. The lesbian woman wasn't she a lesbian playwright? Lesbian playwright? Was she a lesbian playwright? I can't remember. But anyway, the white woman shooting him because you're stealing her. Was he stealing her work? What did she shoot him for? Was he stealing her work or her idea or something? I can't remember. But something doing what they do. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a. I feel like I have a boogie in my nose. It feels like a booger. But yeah, whatever that white woman that shot him for, Valerie Solanas. Ah, I was like, child, these are the things. Like these are the hints that let you know this was foolishness. Like everybody else can be like, oh, he was so brilliant and his persona was created by him and he did these things on purpose with the wig and oh he was just he was an artist doing his most amazing creation was himself. No, he's just a weird looking ugly dude that did mediocre, bland, weird shit that y'all just was like, oh, this is great art. He got inspired by all the queer people that he was in, poor and rich and da 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 da, who were really going through some shit. And he played y'all. That was the brilliance. That was the brilliance. It wasn't his artistry. His brilliance was how can I make this lucrative for myself? That's what it was. But yeah. And then when I seen him with Basquiat, and I just was like, oh, this is I can see this is a young man who is looking at an art juggernaut that's white that people have sold to him that this is artistry. This is art, darling. And he was like, "Oh wow, I'm an artist too. I'm an artist from the ground, and here you go, and this is my stuff. The complexity is here. The depth is here. I'm a real one." But this is the standard. You feel what I'm saying? So how do I take my heart and soul and turn it, and make it this bland shit? How can I do that? And this is what graffiti artists was doing. They were taking their shit and these white people stamping it. They gotta stamp it. They gotta stamp you into existence. The gatekeeping of it. Oh, the gatekeeping of that. And y'all, like it frustrates me because me and my homegirl was talking about this. That documentary was produced by Ryan Murphy, right? Ryan Murphy is creating this great content. Not necessarily queer content, but he's creating He's creating these documentaries. These are these documentaries where we get to look into these queer icons. Um, and he's creating these characters. Like when we look at Pose, when we look at American Horror Story, there's gonna be some queer characters. But he is like it's always a love and hate. It's always a love and hate. Because you are a gay white man, you are in they put you in position, they invest in you in positions to be a tastemaker. You are the one that got the keys to the kingdom to tell us who is the it trans girls to be a part of this new renaissance of trans people. I, the white gay man, get to choose that. Oh, Angelica Ross, India Moore, da 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 da. I get to be the gatekeeper, and because you giving them these girls their first time opportunities, they, they're like, thank you, thank you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. And they're being gracious, but they gotta praise the white gay tastemaker. And it's frustrating because part of it is like, oh my God, I want to see Pose. I want to see those things. I want to see these queer characters. I want to see these groundbreaking things, but it's still the same thing that we have been dealing with for centuries. We have to be stamped, and we have to be stamped by some white person. We have to be stamped. We have to, the gatekeeper has to be some white person to stamp us as. Look at Billy Porter. Billy Porter been grinding his ass off his whole career since the 90s. And it wasn't until Ryan Murphy says, hmm, when there's a lot of talent and just an idea, they just talk up a storm to validate the world of art. A lot of the postmodern art is just about taking talking about some idea, not even embedded in art. Come on now. From what I read, Andy Warhol was a very manipulative person and left many of the trans stars out to dry. Candy Darling, is it Candy Darling? Her, that's what I was talking about earlier. I might have said Gia Darling. Um, Candy Darling, yeah, is one he tossed aside once he got his film. Yep. Um, Ryan Murphy is the Warhol of TV showrunners. Come on now, yeah, yeah. So that's what we're talking about. It's so frustrating, and it's used to wear me out about what I used to watch, wear, and listen to because of these same situations. As a black person that maligns himself with white men like Donald Trump, Yeezys are ugly as fuck, but people act like they're gold. Ugly. But I don't want to say, but because we're talking about art, it's all a subjective. It could be great. It could be amazing. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that they don't like it. And da 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 da. Da. But if you pay attention, who gets to stamp if it's likable, if it's worthy? Who gets to stamp it? I don't know. Are there trans gatekeepers? There, yes, absolutely, definitely. Um, they're coming into power. Look at Janet is becoming one, is one. No, she is one. Laverne is one. Um, Anybody who is getting resources and creating. Was Cosby actually social programming? Social programming? I wouldn't say that. I feel like Cosby was a yeah, kind of too. I see what you mean. I wouldn't use that language, but I can see how it could apply because but Cosby was a response to racist stereotypes. So it was trying to balance out. Do you think gatekeeping is good or bad? Do I think gatekeeping is good or bad? Gosh, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's not that I think that everything should be let through because some shit is bullshit. Um, I just hate that sometimes people's racism, people's sexism, people's classism blinds them from what is needed. Janet Mock Laverne, Caitlyn Jenner, trans gatekeepers, boots. Any trans person that's in the power to create something now. Prior, it wasn't anybody in those kind of positions who was in positions to create some big, culture shifting things. I don't think being a gatekeeper is the problem. I don't think having the power is the problem. It's how you utilize the power. And so I haven't had any issues with anything that Janet has created thus far, but they are not perfect. These women are not perfect. I I loved Disclosure. I love that. Laverne created that, and it is definitely yeah, it's definitely what you do with it. Is Jenna still dating still Lil Poppy? I don't know. Child, I don't know. Caitlyn still wants to be known as a conservative, but not. I want to talk about Caitlyn. But yes, it's not. I think. I think having the power to curate a moment, create and curate both of them. It's like if somebody gave me money and I could create whatever I wanted to. Yes, I'm going to be gatekeeping and to see what kind of images that I want to create. Yes, that's a part of gatekeeping. But what do I do with that power that I'm given? What do I do with that power? And it's frustrating to me that it's always, you know, white gay men who are the first to get access to that power to gatekeep. That is not white cis men or white cis women. When she said F Hollywood, I thought her career was done. No, she had already signed the paperwork for her contract. She had already signed her Netflix contract. So that the bag was you can say all you want, fuck Hollywood, but the bag is already secure. She already in the process of making whatever she wants dream of making. So yeah, that's the bag was secure. She wasn't saying fuck Hollywood before that. um and I don't my thing is it's just like same thing with Hollywood. Like even if that's the case, it's like there's a way to use those things as tools to shift the culture. I don't have no problem with that. I don't think every Hollywood person, every Hollywood exec, um, is bad just for being in Hollywood. It's how are you, do you got the casting couch where it's do you have those kind of things that you are contributing to the culture. How are you doing? Like, how are you dismantling those problems? The issues that we are talking about when we talk about the Me Too movement, when we talk about women and Black people being underpaid. How are you solving the problem? Are you just letting it continue to go? I hate those people the worst. The people who, to me, the those middle ground people who are like, it's just how it is. When they have the power to change it, when you have the power not to do it the way it's been done, because this is your project, you can do it a whole different way. When you don't take the reins to do it a different way, I think those are the worst. Now, there's some people, I don't say the worst. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, that's maybe the wrong language, but I don't like them. They might not be the worst, but I really hate them motherfuckers. When you have the power and you're not trying to change it and making it seem like this is just how it always is, fuck out of here. There are some people who I respect. It's like those races. It's like the Ku Klux Klan members. While they are the worst, they are the worst. But at least they're saying, I don't fuck with you niggas. I don't fuck with you niggas. I don't like you niggas. You can't come to my house. No, I don't fuck. I don't want you. I want you to go to Baghdad. That's good. Da, da, da. It's some. There's a level of I don't respect you as a person, but I respect your honesty. I respect that I know where I stand with you. It's those motherfuckers that's like, oh, I'm not racist, but oh my god, they're moving in next door. How uh, are they? They're moving next to us. Did they do drugs? Are they gonna bring? What are they gonna do? Are they gonna bring their homies? It should have been Black Trans Lives Matter, not Trans Lives Matter. Oh, I don't know what you mean. Um, in my circle, it was always Black Trans Lives Matter. If we talk about the slogans, the smile in your face, always trying to take your place as people. Yeah, that. And I'm white, just keeping it real. Mhm. It frustrates me. It just frustrates me that it's just constant, constant, constant. But definitely, it is trans gatekeepers. It is definitely. But usually, when I see toxic trans gatekeepers, is in the nonprofit industrial complex. That's where I see that. Um, Definitely not. Yeah, so I don't know. I find him to be mediocre. Andy Warhol to be very mediocre. I think his brilliance come in how he played society. That's the that's it. That's it. The girls be ruthless in nonprofit stealing millions. I don't want to say stealing millions. I want to say stealing because most of us are not in positions of power to have access to millions. Motherfuckers be dog eat dog over $5,000. It don't even be millions. It's very few girls that out here running $1 million nonprofits. It's very running them. They may be some workers in $1 million nonprofit, but I'm talking about the head of $1 million nonprofit. I only know one or two, four, four, and they're not. They don't have no control over the coins. They just the EDs. It's not a lot of trans girls that are the head of $1 million. What you call it? They be workers, and they will be toxic over. But It's certain girls that would be toxic over $5,000 grant. Come on, Donna. Donna is Donna's naming names. But they not $1,000,000. Not that I know of. They might be a hundred, not 100, but you get them to in the hundreds, but they're not millions. If they are, they done changed it. Um, they don't went up a whole level that I don't know about. Donna, Donna said, I got time today. Let me name the names, baby. I don't mind, baby. I spilled the tea. I know that's right. Because the girls be talking, and people be talking, and people be like, you got all this money, but what do you actually do with? What is that? He wanted to be a corporate economic artist, which I didn't know that was even a thing because until I watched the documentary. Yeah. And you see how they was, Steve Jobs was like, oh, please come and use. We want to give you access to our technology because you have positioned yourself as this amazing artist. A beast at marketing. And he would fess up to the fact his art is shallow. Like he would say, gee, but you bought it. That's the brilliance. Uh-huh. Butch Queens and Drag be raising the coin for the girls and giving the girls scraps. Scraps, bitch. Scraps. Like, oh, let me get my house and da 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 da. But y'all can see I'm still in my same apartment that I've been for 10 years. They don't even let us in the door because we be in there like, this is wrong. Like what we will get denied when me and my team be doing these interviews. We will get denied the bitcoins because we like what? We would be like, no, like because we say no to the bullshit that they be trying to get us to do. We like this fucking racist. What the fuck are you talking about? We don't have access to this. Like y'all asking us for shit that don't fucking make sense. And they would be like, these hoes is these black hoes too feisty. You know this femboy on GoFundMe line about wanting to transition, want to raise 400K for FFS, then disappear. Oh, they don't get me, but I see them. I know y'all see them. It's a hustle now. Uh, motherfuckers sliding in your DM trying to. It's a mess. It's a mess now. He loves saying G a lot, but you bought it. That is his brilliance. I think that was the brilliance. It's not that he's some brilliant artist. Is that his brilliance is marketing himself as a weirdo, marketing what's the word? God, why it's on the tip of my tongue? Being is it not astringent? Not astringent. Oh, that's what your face. Um, what's the word for being weird? My brain is fogging. Astringent. It's not. Is it astringent? It's not astringent. I keep thinking about the fucking shit on your face. Not eclectic, but there's another word. Shit. Um, eccentric. Yes, being this eccentric person, marketing that as like, ooh, I'm the artsy. Mwah. Warhol is the one, not extravagant. That means extra. No, it's eccentric. It's the being the weirdo, the weird art guy. That image of Andy Warhol. That's where that comes from. Marketing that the mysterious weirdo. I'm just too deep for you to understand. That shit, that is Andy Warhol's brilliance. That when they said that his persona is his most amazing creation, that is true. That's brilliant. That's amazing. That's artistry. How you played the country for decades into believing you were that. That was. I found another fake GoFundMe the other day on YouTube of all places. Made 130K in donations in a month. Gas station encounter 1.9 million followers. Yeah, people be hustling. I be trying to. I be wondering like, what makes these people give y'all money? Because when I'm trying to raise money for anything, it is a struggle, baby, and I don't know why. Because I be out here showing what I'm doing. Pretty much take the art already exists and alter it. Yeah, that money is tax free. That's when Andy Warhol died. If I remember correctly, he left behind a shit ton of piggy banks and shoes in his will. He was really eccentric for sure. Yeah, uh, but that's why I feel when people be acting like like it's scarcity out here, it's so much money out here that you don't have to act like it's not enough for everybody to thrive. It really is. Motherfuckers throw money at anything. Yeah, he was his greatest work. I think that's the most truest thing about the documentary is that he was his greatest work. Period. Period. Flat hands down. Make sure y'all thumbs up if you're still here. We've been here for a minute. He was a video about fake phony accident. Anyone with an eye could tell. Hmm. Scarcity is a capitalist lie. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, uh, I really enjoyed the Warhol film. I sat and watched it all the way through. I got sleepy on the last two episodes because I had started it really late at night, but I stayed up and I think it was like 4 or 5 in the morning when I got to like the last two episodes and I went to sleep and watched them the next morning. It was good. Um Basquiat was the motherfucking that whole era, his relationship, his queerness, his him, his relation to Andy Warhol. That was interesting. That whole examining that. I enjoyed it. It was really nice. Um Basquiat was so cute to me. He was such a cute man and cute. Like not like, oh my God, Basquiat was fine. Not that. It's like, oh my God, he's so cute. It whatever that means to you. He's not fine. He wasn't fine to me. He was cute. It was like he's that kind of he's that like you hit him at a certain angle and he's like, oh, he kind of look fine right there. And then you hit him at another angle, it's like, look kind of ugly. He's one of them people where I'm like, that's a fine ass picture. You look fine. And then another one, I'm like, no, he look hideous. Um, but then, but overall, it's like, oh, he's a cute man. He's so cute. And then the vultures, like the other niggas who was hating on Basquiat because he wasn't getting popular. Is there a minority Warhol equivalent? I think Gordon Parks, except he was really brilliant. Except Gordon Parks was really brilliant to me. I think the artist that comes from that era, that comes up in that era, I would say Gordon Parks. To me, yeah, Gordon Parks. But his medium is photography and film, but Warhol level, I don't think it goes back to what I said about um Quincy Jones. I know I know Quincy is not a visual artist, but if we talk about his impact on culture as a musical artist, Quincy Jones, Quincy has had his impact on pop culture for decades. Gordon Park, Quincy Jones, when we talk about their art and their impact on culture, I think Quincy Jones, Gordon Parks, who else? Yeah, Marissa, that was the saddest moment of the most racist and the saddest moment of the documentary was that. Like they literally was saying, because we all know he's a junkie and he's about to die because he's not just a junkie like, who is controlled. He is an out of control junkie. Like too much. So he's probably about to die. And he's been stamped as brilliant. So you might as well buy his shit so that you can have it. Because it's gonna be worth so much. Buy his shit now before the niggas dies. So instead of getting him help, he literally dies at 27 years old. This is the saddest to me. I was sitting here in this house tearing up, like just so sad by this, just saddened by this. Just it was so heartbreaking to me. So instead of y'all with all this money and resources, who is looking at him as being a brilliant artist, so instead of y'all doing an intervention and stepping in and saying you need to get your shit together, you need to stop and getting him help, your mind goes to, ooh, his art is going to be so worth it when he dies. Let's go ahead and buy let's go ahead and buy everything he has that he's created because it's going to be so much money. It's going to be worth so much money when the nigga die because we see him about to die. This is your king. And Andy Warhol. That's not Andy Warhol fault. That is art culture, white culture, elite culture, class culture, exploiting us to the point where dehumanizing us to where it doesn't really matter. You're only important based on your utility and what you can create. Yourself doesn't matter. You're only important when you can create something for us. They thought the drug use made his art. That too, stupid and annoying. Um, Yeah, that part of it was sad to me. That part of it made me feel very sad. And the creator of just of the film and um like the different pictures that they would use and different yeah. Like nobody fucking loved you. Even the fish that was fucking with you, they was fucking with you because you've been stamped as the it boy. You didn't have these motherfuckers chasing you before you was the it boy. You didn't have Andy Warhol. You didn't have Whitefish. You didn't have any of them chasing you before you was the it. You was the one. Apparently you was prostituting to survive with boys, and apparently you wasn't even queer. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to do that. So nobody in your life cared about you. Mm. Culture versus to the extreme, yes. And that's why you have to be careful of revolving your life just around your creations. Revolving your self-esteem around your creations or the results of your creations. I think that there is a healthy balance that you can have with caring about people. You know what I'm saying, and their opinions. I think that can push in that and motivate you to be better, motivate you to push yourself past your limits. There can be a healthy balance between, caring and not caring. But when it gets to that extreme where everything you do, every your survival is based on how other motherfuckers' opinions of you, that's when it gets toxic, honey. It gets toxic. It gets toxic. It gets toxic. Mhm. Okay, Google. Cut the lights to red. Isn't that cool? I love these lights. We are talking about Andy Warhol and mediocre white artists. We are talking about Basquiat. We are talking about, racism in the art world. Yeah, but I'm about to get off here in about 8 minutes. Diamond, did you talk about the panel you did last week? It was good. Which one? Which one? I did a lot last week. Which one did I do? Which panel did you see? Because there will always be predators, and I ain't and can't be easy prey. Good show tonight. Thank you, darling. Thank you for watching. A lot of stuff to think about. Yes, thank you for watching. That's the whole point, to discuss and, you know, see what, just think about it. Here, Black Queer New Vision covering new binary and trans community. Oh yes, that is a panel that I did with University of Berkeley Journalism, School of Journalism. And they featured me, Travell, and what's the girl name? Ooh, what's the girl name? I don't know the girl's name. She says it's something archives on Instagram. Nicole Archives or something archives. But yes, we were talking about journalism, and we were talking about trans image in journalism. You, Travell, are my fave. So to see y'all together are everything. Yes, I love Travell. They are so vibrant. Noelle DeLeon. Yes, Noelle's Archive. That's what it is. Yes. And so I think she's from Houston too, but I don't think she lives in Houston. But yeah, I like Travell too. I'm gonna try to get him on the show. Them on the show. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get them on the show. My red lip is rubbed off. I'm running my mouth. Do I watch Atlanta? I do not. I'm not particularly a fan. I heard that it was good. But I'm not particularly a fan of Danny Glover. Childish Gambino. Marsha's Play, Fenty, and Girl Down are must listen to weekly podcasts. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Love it, love it, love it. What else have I been? Let's see what I have coming up for T Dove, y'all. Since y'all will be a lit, that would be. So y'all know Trans Day of Visibility is on the 31st. So there is a on the 30th. Follow me on Instagram, Marsha's Plate Podcast. Diamond Styles. Let me give y'all another thing too. I think I talked about this before, but I don't know for new people. So Diamond Styles, any of my Diamond Styles pages, like on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, it is gonna be whatever the fuck Diamond wants to talk about. It could range from talking about Gilded Age. It could range from trans stuff. It could range from art stuff. It could range from whatever. I just want to have the freedom on the platforms that has the name Diamond Styles to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And whoever likes me will just be, oh, Diamond's on this shit. Okay. So I'm gonna be posting pictures of myself, of course. Whatever I want to share on my Diamond Styles or whatever. Jokes, memes, da 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 da. Marsha's Plate that has a specific trans lean. So when I'm doing trans or journalism or political type events, I am going to post my flyers and shit on Marsha's Plate. So if you want to know what's happening in the world in regards to trans, queer, um, black, all those included, then that I'm gonna follow Marsha's Plate because Marsha's Plate is where I'm gonna be posting like any flyers or anything that happens going on. Like if I'm gonna be speaking to Southwest, if I'm gonna be doing this, if I'm gonna be in your city at this time, whatever's happening, that's where I'm going to um that's where I'm gonna post stuff. So I have a lot of stuff coming up for Trans Day of Trans Visibility Week, basically. Um, I have community impact partner session. So I have something on the 30th, and I'll probably post it. It's something that has to do with this organization that is out of Kansas City, but it's a virtual event that's free that you can watch. That's going to be on the 30th. And then I have, if you are in the UK, I have an event that is happening at 10 a.m. in the fucking morning if you're up on Thursday. And then I'm doing an event with Patreon at 1 o'clock for Trans Visibility Day 2 on Thursday. Yes. Black Trans Women's Inc. is doing a panel with Vernice McFarland, Lais Milburn, and Tori Cooper on the 14th. And then we're having a BTAC informational happen on April the 21st. All this stuff is linked in the bottom, not the events, but where you can find out information about the events. You can Black Trans Women's Inc. Like if you need any kind of, we're not some big $1 million org, but we have enough coin to kind of assist you or guide you into your assistance for almost anything. You just got to let us know exactly what you got going on. I won't say that we will have all the resources to help you, but we will. Like for example, we have a fund to help to get people like $1,000 towards like whatever surgery you're getting, like affirmative surgeries. Like if say you trying to get your titties cost $6,000 and you only got $5,000, we can give you $1,000 on your titties. You get what I'm saying? No, we can't give you the whole $6,000. We can't afford that, but we can give you $1,000 on them. So if you can get to the $5,000, and we ain't gonna give it to you, we gonna give it to your doctor. So there's certain things that we can help with. So let us know. So yeah, and we do things like with we help with name changes, we help with just all this typical trans stuff by taking them to march at Black Lives Matter rallies. Yes, Marissa Lamb, one of the little boys, were featured in a still at one of the Black Lives Matter. It was definitely a real story. It fucked me up because she was beating them and starving them. Yes, I remember that. That was horrible. They did a good episode about those two lesbians, the two white lesbians, and they drove off the cliff. Yes. I be tripping because I never heard of that story, but apparently it's real. Oh yeah, it's definitely real. We talked about it on Marcia's Plate too. Speaking of Gilded Age, I haven't caught up on Gilded Age, but I think I have. Don't we have one more episode? I can't remember. I'm loving Gilded Age. I haven't. Is it one more episode? I haven't finished it, so I don't know. I'm loving it though, but it's the first season, so I don't want to judge it too hard. I guess the end all be all was supposed to be the Russells making it into society and Peggy's confession. If that was it, then yeah, that was anticlimactic. It's not one more. It's not one more episode though. I didn't finish the last one, but I know motherfucking Mrs. Russell looks sickening in that gray. Woo! She looks sickening in that gray. I think the final aired. Okay, so I need to watch it. So I need to finish watching that. That looks good. It's done. Okay. Yeah, I know they got renewed for a second season, so I know, that we'll get another season. But if that was the last episode, I didn't get to finish it yet, so I'll have to watch it. I just watched part of it. Miss Russell had all the girls at her ball. Yeah, so I haven't seen the ball. I think the last part I'm on is when she's telling Gladys that Miss Astor's daughter can't come to the ball, and Alice is like, Gladys is like, what? That's the last. I had to cut it off because I got interrupted. But yes. Yeah. Miss Russell had the girls at the ball, baby. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. It did set up for a second season. I could tell. That's good. Miss Russell was all. Why I keep reading that last sentence? um, mm, I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometimes, I want to spend my time with you. On and Miss Rex is a fuck boy. Mr. Rex. Who is Mr. Rex? Which one is Mr. Rex? Miriam's trade that she about to stupidly marry. Is that Mr. Rex? We look for love. Yeah, no, thank you. He about to wear her out. We look for love, no time for fears. Waste of water is all that is. It don't make no flowers grow. Good things might come to those who wait, not for those who wait too late. You gotta go for what you know. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Saw him coming and going, baby. And this little naive little thing ain't paying attention. I don't like Agnes, but you gotta pay attention to my old head. Sometimes they be on it. Sometimes they be wrong, but sometimes they be on it. Well, and if you pay attention, she's been right about Miss Russell too. Don't get it twisted. Only person she kind of I think been wrong about. No, she was right about her too. She hasn't been wrong about anybody, like even Miss Chamberlain. She's not wrong about Miss Chamberlain. She know the tea, but she's wrong in the sense of pushing her out. But she know the real tea about Mr. Chamberlain. She just don't want that type of tea in the circle of her upper class. And then Mrs. Russell. She's right about Mrs. Russell. She is a social climber, and everything she's doing is to social climb. I just don't want you here. I don't want you in the circle. But she's right about her. Like the whole little dog, her sending the letter to come get the dog and she'll bring the dog or some shit about the dog. Miss Agnes said, "Do not, honey, tell her thank you, but don't put no extra." Because she think this is the way to get on in my good graces. I clocked that bitch. He went from "Can I write you a letter" to "I love you" hella fast. And fresh, this is after. Remember when her father died, and he wasn't trying to give her no kind of assistance when he had to tell her that her daddy was broke. He wasn't trying to help her in no kind of way. He was like, "Ooh, I'm sorry to tell you, your father wasn't that responsible with his money. You broke, you might have to go live with your auntie. Send the help to get the dog." Yeah, Agnes is right. She was right about that dude trying to slide into Ada's DMs, honey. Like, oh, Miss Ada, I missed you so much. Loved you so much. And Agnes is like, sir, we clocked you long time ago. We just didn't let you know. Huh. But now, since you want to come and try to slide in my sister's DMs, sir, let me spill this tea for you so you can go on about your business. Go on now. Take your ass on home now. Where her pops fulfill. Uh-huh. She can't have her in the circle because her money is bigger than Agnes. So if she let her in there, she could potentially knock her off the pedestal as head of society because money is power. But who is head of society is Miss Astor. Yes, Agnes got money, but Astor and McAllister is the tastemakers. They're the one who says who's the it girls. Yeah, what you call Agnes got coins, but she's not a tastemaker. She's just an old head that was born into, you know, being one of the girls. Coins and the girls. But Miss Astor is the one who says you're the it girl. Ain't no money for you, baby. She ain't got no coins. You still want to be here? No. thanks for thanks for tipping me. I'm out. That is hilarious. Niggas swear they don't be prostitutes. Niggas be prostitutes too, especially broke niggas. Broke niggas be just as much prostitutes as chicks. And it's not that amount of money you had. It's the generational foundation of your wealth. Right. White gatekeeping whites. Yes. 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 Hmm. But all right, y'all. Make sure y'all thumbs up if you have not. I will talk to y'all next Friday. We will chat. What is going on next Friday? I don't think it's anything. Y'all have a particular topic y'all might want to discuss next Friday? Um, let me think. Let me think. That is actually the first. Yeah, I ain't got nothing going on the first, but paying the damn rent. But all right, I will see y'all next Friday and make sure y'all are I have a lot of interviews recorded, y'all, but I'm having them I'm pre-editing them. I'm pre-editing them so I can put them out while I'm out of the country. So I don't have to so I can have them already set to schedule to play so I don't have to worry about uploading and having something for y'all. Um because I don't know what the internet is going to be giving over there. And anytime I try to get on the internet in other countries, it'd be slow and janky. But it's Paris, so I'm in London, so it might not be that bad. But I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna have them uploaded. But I got tons of interviews, and I hope y'all love them because I think they're sickening. um, of some interesting folks. I think I got one more that I'm trying to slide on in there. But y'all have a good night. And I will see y'all next week. Mwah. Be good.